So we're trying this this shaken espresso. Starbucks is advertising these big time as a day booster. Can't confirm. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Flaps 10. I'm Peter. I like to fly both as a passenger and a pilot, but I also like to eat. So how am I not 300 pounds? I mean, flying can be a very sedentary activity. It can be a stressful activity. It can be very easy to overeat in the cockpit or in the back as a passenger. Not to mention, airports don't necessarily make it easy to eat healthy either. I mean, once you get a whiff of that Cinnabon or Auntie Anne's, it's game over. Now, if you're like me, you do want to live a little while you're traveling. I mean, who wants to go to the airport and just force feed yourself chicken and broccoli? That's no fun. So is it possible to exercise any sort of caloric discipline in airports? Let's find out. This is a full day of eating, 3,500 calories in Knoxville, Tennessee, at the Crown Plaza, Knoxville downtown, and Knoxville McGee-Tyson Airport. Let's do it.
Pursuit 5074 is 8 miles from the final approach 6. Turn left heading 260. Maintain 3000 until established. Localized. Cleared ILS 23 right approach.
Heading 3000 until established. Cleared ILS 23 right approach. Blue sheet 574.
Good morning, welcome to Knoxville. Our local time is approximately 10:19.
Thanks so much. Have a great one. Knoxville Airport, actually a pretty cool spot. Originally opened in 1937, this airport sees around 50 commercial flights per day to 25 destinations across the US. Just about 950,000 passengers in 2021, and is home to the Cirrus Vision Center, which Cirrus calls the hub of all their customer activities. If you're not familiar with Cirrus, they're basically the Mercedes of single-engine, four-seater planes. Super modern, high-tech avionics, and they got built-in full-frame parachutes. But more on the airport later. It was my first time in Knoxville. I was there for a buddy's wedding, and the place definitely exceeded my expectations. From the restaurants, I should pick up for Peter. Awesome, thank you. You too. Breweries and coffee shops around Market Square, to the quirky yet awesome YMCA downtown.
Thank you for calling the Downtown Y. This is Jillian.
Yeah, hey, good morning. I'm just in town visiting and was thinking about coming through later today, and I had a question on equipment. I was just curious whether you guys had a trap bar for deadlifts, like a hexagon, the hex bar.
We do have a trap bar, and we do have something very similar to it, I believe.
All right, awesome. I'll see you guys later then. So yeah, the gym was great, the people were awesome. The city has pretty much everything you need to live a happy and fulfilling life. So of course, it was a great spot for a wedding, and the bride and groom were absolutely perfect for each other. After a night of celebration and indulgence on Saturday, we woke up on Sunday with an ambitious plan to get back home to Charlotte. So if you know me, you know I'm a big fan of taking the stairs, especially at hotels. But usually I'm on like the third or fourth floor where it's actually manageable to take the stairs every time without blowing yourself out. We're on the 10th floor today, so starting on the mezzanine level, so that gives us one floor of a head start. But this is our final challenge before we can treat ourselves some coffee this morning. Made it. Yeah, I should not be this out of breath. Not gonna lie, getting out of bed was hard, but I find it's always worth it to get the body moving in the morning. It doesn't have to be sprints, doesn't have to be 1 rep max squats, just something to get the blood flowing. After the stair climb and some stretching, it was time to head over to the Crown Plaza breakfast buffet for meal number 1. The restaurant here is called Mahogany's, and they have an all-you-can-eat breakfast buffet 7 days a week for 17 bucks.
Wow.
Absolute no-brainer in my opinion. Now at 17 bucks, my expectations weren't super high with respect to the food variety and food quality, but it was certainly serviceable. My rule of thumb in the morning is to prioritize protein. Not only does it help me meet my daily protein targets to maintain my muscle mass, but it also gets me more full early on, so I'm less likely to indulge in some of the more carb-heavy, less nutrient-dense items. Eggs and sausage is the perfect solution, so that's what we went with this morning. Now in a perfect world, we'd have the option of egg whites and some form of leaner sausage, but beggars can't be choosers, especially when you're traveling. All told, breakfast shook out to around 850 calories, which included some oatmeal, berries, and cantaloupe I added at the end of the meal. So I guess moral of the story is that even though it looked pretty healthy, it was still a pretty large amount of calories. My goal though is to maintain my weight at around 175 pounds, and I move a lot, so I need to eat roughly 3,300 calories a day to achieve that goal. Now let's get to the airport. Thank you, have a good one. Yep. Alright, I'm not going to pull out the gimbal, the selfie stick yet, but welcome to Tyson McGee Knoxville Airport. It's Sunday, July 9th, 2023. Was in Knoxville for a buddy's wedding and heading back over to Charlotte today. Got a very quick flight. Really glad we could make it work, or we could actually fly. I'm not a big road trip guy and really wanted to explore this Knoxville Airport, which actually exceeded my expectations. Really cool spot. So you know how I said we had an ambitious plan to get back to Charlotte? Well, here it is. Yeah, our original flight was supposed to be at 7:50 p.m. tonight. We're trying to stand by for an 11:15 a.m. We're just gonna go through security, check with the gate agents to see how many seats are available potentially on the flight, and hopefully get on this 11:15 a.m. back to Charlotte. Very much a risky endeavor, but we'll see how it shakes out. Worst comes to worst, I think there's another flight this afternoon, and God willing, we don't have to wait the entire day here. Alright, so at this point we've just cleared security and it's coming up on 10 a.m. Time to see if there's any chance at all we'll make it onto this 11:15 a.m. flight. Hey, how you doing? Good. I'm on the standby list, just wondering if chances are we'll be making it on.
So I'm not sure what's going on with that. So there is a possibility that you will get on.
So at that point, I was pretty hopeful I was going to get on the 11:15, but let's rewind a few minutes because we did pick up some calories in the form of Starbucks. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
You too. Now, I've said it before and I'll say it again, but airport Starbucks baristas rock. Not to say regular Starbucks baristas don't rock, but airports just breed frustration, whether it's due to delays, cancellations, long lines, crowds, you name it. So I'm amazed when they're able to keep their cool during rush hour. Big thumbs up to the Starbucks at Knoxville Airport. So we're trying this shaken espresso. Starbucks advertising these big time as a day booster. Can't confirm. I'm gonna take a walk to the other side of the terminal just to get some steps in. All right, as we're walking, let's take a quick stock of the food and beverage options, just in case we have to spend more time here than originally intended. This airport has two main dining areas post-security. One is occupied by Ruby Tuesdays, and the other is more of a grab-and-go setup occupied by Quiznos, Uno Express, Starbucks, and Cinnabon. Then there's a gift shop right across from Ruby Tuesdays called the Tennessee Marketplace, which sells your newspapers, souvenirs, etc., as well as snacks, drinks, and prepackaged salads, yogurts, and all that. Alright, quick time and calorie check. It's about 10:40 a.m. Eastern. We're sitting at just around 900 calories consumed between breakfast and that Starbucks drink. We probably burned around 110 active calories. Now, I'm sure many of you know that you also burn calories just by existing. This is called the basal metabolic rate, but we're going to ignore that for the purposes of this video because the calculations there could get pretty complex. So there's the inbound flight from Charlotte. Boarding commenced on time, and I soon realized we were going to need some sort of miracle for me to get on this flight. It was all booked up, and I was number 3 on the standby list. Now, the past couple times I played the standby game, the flight was booked, but there was a passenger who missed a connection or didn't show up to the airport on time. It's the last person to get on the flight, so I got very lucky. So a seat opened up at the last minute and I got on the flight. Those types of experiences kind of spoil you, so I just thought I could waltz right into Knoxville Airport and hop on that 11:15, but I was wrong. Alright, so As you can probably tell by now, I'm still in Knoxville Airport. We did not make the standby for the 11:15 a.m. unfortunately, so our standby streak luck ran out. Yeah, there's not much I can do about it because standby you're never guaranteed a seat. There was a crew member that snuck in on the jump seat, so that's one perk I guess of being an airline employee is that you can snag that coveted seat. I guess it's not very comfortable, but that'd be pretty cool to sit up front with the pilots. But so yeah, we're stuck here until she rolled me over to the 2:38 p.m. flight. It's now 11:34 a.m. and just set up shop here at the Ruby Tuesday. We'll grab lunch here in about an hour and a half.
Around 12:30 p.m. we ordered the hickory bourbon chicken with a side of zucchini and broccoli. And of course we tacked on the all-you-can-eat salad bar for an additional $6.99, which is an absolute no-brainer in my opinion. The chicken was great, albeit slightly drenched in glaze, and I definitely got my money's worth out of the salad bar. Depending on your appetite and level of nutritional discipline, I think you could get away with just the salad bar for your entire meal. Anyways, Ruby Tuesdays is a pretty nifty online calorie calculator, and so I was able to get pretty scientific about what the caloric damage was here. Came out to 600 calories for the chicken and 420 for the salad bar, which included 2 trips of 210 calories each. Now my tip number 2 coming out of this meal is to try not to drink your calories, especially early in the day. The reason for this is twofold. One, most of the calories are coming from straight sugar, so you'll likely experience drastic swings in energy levels. And 2, they don't keep you full, so you're more likely to consume more calories alongside them. If you want something a little more punchy and flavorful than just plain agua, I'd go with the sparkling water with a lime or coffee, the latter of which will not only boost your metabolism but also curb your appetite. But anyways, post-lunch around 1:45 p.m. Eastern, it was time to head back over to Gate 10 and try our luck at flight number 2, the 2:38 p.m. to Charlotte.
Situation unfortunately wasn't looking too promising. Nonetheless, we tried to stay optimistic as boarding came and went. Alright, that's now 0 for 2. The 2:38 p.m. flight to Charlotte just went out completely full. There actually one checked-in passenger failed to show up, and I was number 2 on the standby list, so one guy got on before me, of course. So that's just sort of the luck we're dealing with today. It's bound to run out after a while. I guess you win some, you lose some. Now we're camped out at Gate 6 on the other side of the airport. Looks like this is where the Frontier flight goes out of. I'm gonna set up shop, get some work done for the next couple hours, and try to get on the 6 p.m.
2 hours later.
All right, it is going on 4:33 p.m. Sunday, July 9th. Been here all day, running out of things to do, getting bored. Gotten all my work done and then some. Probably watched the same Boeing 717. Seen 3 Charlotte flights depart. Seen a couple of Allegiant flights to Fort Lauderdale and for Orlando Sanford. I've been to the Ruby Tuesdays, been to the Starbucks, been to the gift shop. I don't think there's a place I haven't been here or a shop that I haven't purchased something from. And we've still got 2.5 hours before our flight. So successfully exhausted all of the activities at McGee-Tyson Airport. It's probably just gonna do another lap around the terminal. By my count, it's about 300 steps one way. So 600 steps round trip from one end to the other.
So down and back twice was around 1,200 steps, which we're gonna say was like 50 calories. After that, it was time to try our luck on the 6:05 p.m. flight. Not only were the odds looking worse at waitlist position 4, but our original flight was now showing an hour delay. So if we didn't get on the 6:05, we for sure weren't leaving until at least 8:40. Major bummer. You know the drill at this point. Although, at this point I had learned not to get my hopes up.
Oh boy. 0 for 3 on standby today. Well, silver lining gets hit Ruby Tuesday second time in a row. The waitress is awesome here. I have the same one. She's working all day, working her butt off. Got the seltzer water with the lime as my drink again. And she's not charging me for the endless salad bar because I theoretically paid for it earlier today. It's gonna be a wild ride. I got the chicken entree for lunch, and I just ordered the salmon. So we're chilling, just living life in Knoxville Airport.
So yeah, I ordered the salmon with 2 sides of broccoli, then made 2 trips to the salad bar, just like at lunch. All in all, dinner was slightly lighter than lunch. The salmon and broccoli came out to 410 calories, and the salads were the same at 420 total. It was quite a basic meal, but a perfect protein and fiber bomb to prevent me from overdoing it on the dessert. This leads me to my final tip, which may be controversial, but I personally avoid snacking throughout the day. Now, this isn't to say snacking is bad. In fact, it can be great if you choose the right foods, such as high fiber fruits, vegetables, or high protein foods like Greek yogurt. But most of the stereotypical snack foods are calorie bombs that may actually stimulate your appetite instead of satisfying it.
I got gluten-free matzah. How clutch is that?
Anyways, after dinner, it was coming up on 7:30 p.m. and our inbound flight was en route, so it appeared we weren't going to have to spend the night at McGee-Tyson, thank God. Picked up some dessert in the form of Greek yogurt and peanut M&Ms, headed over to Gate 10. As we're boarding this 10-year-old A319, let's hit a quick recap of our day of eating. We had 3,340 calories, which is much higher than I would have liked, especially given the lack of a true workout or meaningful physical activity. Probably only burned somewhere in the neighborhood of 200 active calories and 1,800 resting calories for a total of 2,000. So that's a big old calorie surplus. But you just can't let days like this get to your head, especially when you're traveling and some things are just outside of your control. So we decided to put that day behind us, and we were just grateful to be on a rare A319 that still had the seatback screens. What a treat. Now that we were going to have time for a full movie, but beggars can't be choosers. An episode of The Big Bang Theory was perfectly acceptable. We pushed back around 8:50 p.m. local, and the AA pilots got us safely to Charlotte by 10 p.m. And that officially concluded our 12-hour travel day, which could have easily been a 4-hour travel day if we just would have either not tried to stand by or just rented a car and driven. Anyways, silver lining is we got to explore every corner of a new airport, and that's always fun, regardless of its size. I hope you enjoyed the combo of eating and plane spotting. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. So long from Charlotte.